Shall we get into it? Oh, yes, we shall. It's time for Auntie's advice. It's time for Auntie's advice. It's time for Auntie's advice. Auntie's advice.
Hi, everybody. This is Auntie, and how are you all doing? Happy Tuesday. We are in December, and it is Don't Stop. Oh my God. Y'all got me out in the street. Y'all got me out in the street, don't y'all? I have had so many of you all hit me up in my DMs to say, Auntie, can you talk about the situation between Funky Dineva and Tamar Braxton? Now, you all know that Funky Dineva is a YouTuber and he has a huge following, so I ain't trying to start nothing. But when I looked at how many of y'all was in my DMs, I was like, I guess I gotta talk about it. I mean, okay. But of course you all know I'm gonna always talk about it from my point of view and in my own way. So I had to go and look up what was going on between the two of them. So, as I say in my title, the tea spillage from Funky Dineva doesn't match the crime. Is Auntie missing something? Okay, what are you saying? You can't not talk about it. Okay. 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 All right. Okay. You got that what is it? I'm enjoying myself. It made me think of you bring me joy. Okay. When I'm down. Okay. So, girl, what's the tea? Send me the link so I can bring it up real quick while I'm talking about it. So I had to do some research on it, go back on what you all are wanting me to talk about, because of course you all know I want to be able to have as much information as I possibly can as I talk about this. Okay. And I'm only going to talk about it from the perspective of what is out there, okay? Not from, me watching any videos from Funky Dineva other than the one that y'all really wanted me to watch today in order to get an assessment or to hear what it is that he had to say, okay? You just sent me a message, okay? In my DMs, okay? All up in my DMs. Okay, so I went up and pulled some information on it, and I asked ChatGPT what was going on. And so it says the relationship between Funky Dineva and Tamar is complicated. It's not romantic, but they've recently been embroiled in public drama and allegation. Here's a breakdown of where things stand as of late 2025, which is now. So it says, what is or was their connection? Funky Dineva and Tamar Braxton were publicly associated, at least socially. There was footage of them kicking it together, partying, spending time, shortly before a major incident involving Tamar that sparked rumors or foul play or a personal tragedy. Now, they linked me to an article downtown in the shade room. Let me share that on the screen, right? Okay. So it linked me to an article downtown to the shade room. And I'm just going to show the caption. It says Tamar Braxton speaks out after her friend Funky Dineva seemingly suggests she pulled a PR stunt. So this is Funky Dineva and Tamar Braxton. For those of you all who don't know, like I said, I know him as being a content creator. And I know Tamar, of course, y'all know from the Braxton's Family Values or the Braxtons or whatever you want to call it. Okay. So in this particular article in TMZ, they said that Tamar pulled a move when she addressed tensions from Funky Dineva on Wednesday, August 27th. The singer hopped on social media after her friend seemingly suggested she pulled a PR stunt. He wasn't specific about said stunt, but the whole call out started over her alleged refusal to clear his name. On a live stream, he claimed fans and bloggers were speculating whether he was to blame for the extensive injuries she described last week. Okay, so what was those extensive injuries? So, as mentioned, Funky popped off on Wednesday via Instagram, first in a feed post and then on a live stream. In the post, he explained that he got ate up alive on his birthday weekend after Tamar told her fans via Instagram that she had suffered a fractured nose and is missing teeth due to an incident she can't recall. Now, I do remember seeing and hearing something about that, but for me, I always feel like celebrities have a tendency to over exaggerate stuff. I know that there was controversy downtown to the YouTube and to every other social media platform about what was going on with that. I think that people were half and half with it. Some people believe that this happened, and then some people felt like Tamar is a stunt queen. So again, I don't follow it like that. But I just was like, I don't know now. If I had to um believe one over the other, I wouldn't be able to decide right now, right, without having all the full information. So excuse me if I don't weigh in on that article from them. So they said in this particular article, and I'll make sure that I leave when I get through reading Tamar. Okay, so I'm going to show this that came from Funky Dineva. He says, when I get through, okay, just one second. Let me share it, okay? Because I like to share. Sharing is caring, isn't it, y'all? Especially for all of those people like myself that's just coming up on this on the back end. So in this article right here that you all see on the screen, this is a direct post from that the Shade Room decided to share about what Funky Dineva said. He says, when I get through reading Tamar's ass down to the ground, I don't want to hear okay? Miss Funky Dineva, here it is. I got ate up alive over my birthday weekend, and the whole while there was nothing wrong with Tamar's Aish. Now she done released her Tide Aish music video for this raggedy EP that don't nobody want, and because I'm in the video, people are going to think I was part of the PR stunt. I was collateral damage in a 2-bit PR stunt. Ooh, child. Tell us how you really feel. Okay. Tell us how you really feel. So it appears that Tamar has said that, she had all these things done. And so, there was an issue from what I can deduce that she had basically put Funky Dineva being associated her with her, being together with her that night. It appeared that she was associating the two of them together, and maybe he had some foreknowledge. And I vaguely remember him coming out and doing a video where he was cussing and everything about said incident, and was saying that He did not know, this is to my understanding, that he did not know what had happened, right? He won't there, he ain't know what happened. So I'm like, oh, okay. I just go on my business. But then there was an incident that happened on yesterday that y'all just was like, okay, you got to talk about this because we need to know what's going on. So yesterday, Funky Dineva took to social media, to his YouTube. Okay, hold on, let me see if I can find it. He took to his YouTube. Hold on, y'all. Bear with me. He took to his YouTube channel and did a video called Tamar, Braxton, Mendeecees, y'all. Mendeecees. That's what it is. Mendeecees and the wait a minute, hold on, I'm gonna have to go. And the missing teeth. I be trying to come up with all these little complicated titles. Maybe I need to just go this, okay? Mendeecees. Okay. So he said I was minding in his description, he says I was minding my business like I always do. And Tamar decided to be slick shady on L'Oreal's podcast. I don't know who that is. Call me messy all you want, but I'm just responding. I will not sit back and let this lady run with the narrative that she threw some grand party for an ungrateful friend who later did her wrong. Nope, not happening. You ain't throw no damn party for me. Stop telling people these lies. So when I looked at it, I was like, wait a minute, what? Like, what's going on? Okay, so does this go back to the teeth, or does this go back to the incident downtown to the club? What's the big deal that for Tamar, for him to go off, right, and drag another individual in it? I feel like you go head on and you can be at war with people, right? But you don't have to bring a whole lot of other people on board with it. Now, this is my first mindset, right? Because it was a lot of things that was said in there where I just was like, okay, wait, like, what does her being with Mendeecees have to do with these teeth and all of this kind of stuff? So then I was like, okay, well, let me go ahead on and chat GPT this and find out, right, like what's going on. Because see, y'all be wanting to hear my voice about stuff, not realizing that Auntie is looking at it like, okay, oh, okay, that happened. Oh, okay. Because, usually that's not my genre. That's not the shows that I cover, right? I cover, TLC shows and stuff like that. But I see y'all been wanting me to get out in the streets, and y'all been wanting me to change. Y'all have been wanting me to get into, more of the Real Housewives type of stuff, right? For those of you all who are new here, I have asked my subscribers and my members, lovingly known as my nieces, my nephews, and my members, to start giving me topics that I can talk about, right? That they are interested in. These are things they're interested in. So if you asking yourself, well, bitch, if you don't know what's going on, why the fuck are you talking about it? Well, I'm talking about it because these people down here, okay, they're my family. We're a family over here. And I have opened up a door or a window for them to be able to make suggestions. This was one of the suggestions that blew my DMs up today. Okay, so that's why I'm talking about it. And no, I don't know all the particulars, but I do know the party members. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So when I saw it, and he was like, you ain't thrown no damn party for me. Stop telling these people these lies. So I was like, okay, so like what's going on now? So like what are we really talking about? So he opens up and he says, I am going to move on to a story that I'm still up in the air about. about how I'm going to respond to Tamar. Okay, but Tamar recently did an interview with somebody by the name of L'Oreal. Again, I don't know who that person is. He says, I don't know. She just did something I don't like. Um he runs this video of the girl L'Oreal interviewing with Tamar, and Tamar says, I was throwing my friend a party. I was throwing my friend a birthday party. Now, Funky Dineva further goes on. Okay, so now this is what done pissed him off. Because he said, first of all, you was a tag along. You want somebody that was with me. You won't throw me no party. Basically, we was having, we all was going out. You tagged along. You came up in there. And this other dude that is married to somebody by the name of Yandy. And I remember Yandy was up in that camp too. Now, I saw like a video type of movie vlog. I don't know what you call it, what Tamar was doing, where she was with him, and I recognized him off the brickety break as being Yandy's husband. And so I was like, oh, okay. The video was a little, I guess it was a music video. It was all right. It was all right. Tamika, if you want me to drop the link, as always. Okay, you said I'm interested too. You probably was in my DMs. Okay. So anyway, so he goes through and says that Tamar did not give him a birthday party. So I was like, what's the big deal? God damn. Okay, so she said you gave her the birthday party. She gave you the birthday party. You said she didn't. What's the big deal? Why are we dragging people over whether or not somebody gave you a birthday party? I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, so this is what we do. So am I like too old to understand that this is what we doing now? That we fussing about whether or not a person gave a birthday party or not? Now I know I'm an old Hagatha Christie. Don't get it twisted. My neck tells me, my head tells me, everything else tells me, my body, my sleep deprivation, all of that tells me I'm an old Hagatha Christie now. But this is what we're doing. We fussing over whether or not somebody gave you a party or no. But then I realized, no, this is as he said in the first video. He was with her. She got hurt. A lot of people felt like it was phony, fake, and a stunt, which is what he was talking about. This PR stunt that Tamar allegedly had done. Because at this point right now, someone, and I got it up here somewhere open, that they are now, she's now trying to file a lawsuit. So see now this done got legal. This done got Nexus. Okay? This a little Nexus. I'm just saying it. Okay? This a little legal beagle. So now this thing. So anyway, he went out there. Tamar said, I gave a friend a birthday party. Hello. Y'all know Tamar. You thought it was your friend. Well, he ain't even going to touch on that. Okay. So anyway. So then he goes on, he says, Tamar, I'm going to speak directly to you. I never wanted what transpired between me and you to transpire. I didn't in this moment. It's still not something that I'm very proud of. And honestly, I wish I could go back a couple of months and go and could be in the place that we were before this happened. But what I can't tolerate is the sly shade, the sly messiness, and this thing that you do. You do just enough. You do just enough that when somebody calls you on it, then you can dip your hands back and be like, I didn't do nothing. What? I didn't do nothing. I didn't say the person's name. So now this is an issue. Because anybody that's ever been around somebody that do stuff like that, you grow an intolerance for their age. You get sick of the fool la la. You get sick of the bullshit. You get sick of sitting back and not saying nothing. You get sick of covering that. I'm not saying that that's what is happening. I'm saying based on what is in his transcript, right, of what he said downtown to his YouTube channel, he has an intolerance for her. Now, girl, what's the tea? Is saying, I beg Tamar to follow through with this lawsuit. He's diabolical. Okay, thank you, Ray Dollar. Absolutely, I drop it. Okay, give me about 5 minutes, Tamika. 5, 10 minutes. He said, are you aware of what really happened to you? No, I'm not. Can you talk about it? So Tamar was saying she couldn't talk about it. She said she went to a friend's birthday party and all that old kind of stuff. So he says, I don't like that at all because I'm telling you to your damn face. But she's not in his face. So I guess, that's just hypothetical. If I was in your face, I'd be telling you this. I guess. I don't know. Bitch, I don't know. I'm telling you to your damn face, you was a bald-faced, bald-headed goddamn lie. Okay, that night was never about me. You and somebody else and all the rest of them was looking for something to do, and y'all hitchhike off of our stuff. We allowed you to come on. Then, allegedly, according to Funky Dineva, they got downtown to the car. They were in an Uber. I don't know why they was in an Uber, but they was in an Uber. And she was back there with this dude, Mendeecees. Okay? Kissing and all that kind of stuff. Now, he said that the reason why he did so, I guess that the people earlier, and y'all let me know downtown in the chat, he said that they was in the back of the car. Now he's married to, I did confirm through ChatGPT, my bestie, that he and Yandy are still married. But we know all married folk ain't married folk. When you get good and got grown, you know all married folk are not married folk. And there's a lot of people who play around with what I would deem taboo bullshit, and they bring taboo bullshit into their relationships without getting permission or making a broadcast out to everybody. But they will invite people in their marriages. They will allow their spouses to cheat and all kinds of stuff. So, like the Bible says, the bed of the married folk is undefiled. They can do what they want to do in their marriage bed. So I'm going to start right there. Because when he came out and he said that she was in the back of the car with this dude, what did dude do to Funky? Was my question. Why he throw him under the bus? In order to hurt her, he threw her under the bus. I mean, that's the opposite. In order to hurt Tamar, in my opinion, Funky threw Mendeecees under the bus. What did Mendeecees do? And my whole thing is, if Yandy, if the man cheat, does Yandy know? And if Yandy know, does she want everybody to know that she knew? Have they given each other permission to like cheat? Y'all let me know downtown in the chat. Because I just felt like All of this was an intolerance, and I'ma sit in the cut and I'ma wait until the rabbit come out the hole. And as soon as the rabbit come out of hole, now this is my assessment from not knowing what's going on. So don't nobody be on mad day down in my comments. I'm doing this because my people told me to do it. See, now here the other auntie coming out. I'm doing this because my people told me to do this, and I've already explained. Got and if you need to rewind or rib all back, that I don't know this whole story. I'm going off of what I have pulled out of periodicals, TMZ, the Shade Room, and all of that. And somebody named the Jasmine brand. I'm going based on what ChatGPT told me. Auntie, this what's going on. I'm gonna wrap this up in a cute little bow for you, like this one that's sitting back here behind me. Okay, good thing I got a package with about. But in my opinion, it's like he was waiting on a rabbit. It's like, okay, he was biting at the bit, right? And so when I looked at the first one or listened to the first one, it was almost like he was already implying, right? And then this was just me, okay, going on and just being 100% transparent. This is Mad Day. This is Mad Day. She said something. I've been sitting in the cut waiting. And maybe he wasn't sitting in the cut. Maybe it was somebody else sitting in the cut. I don't know. But you know how people are. They like to, they spread the tea. Some people, they just like to start chaos and confusion. So they'll run tell this, right? But as I said, a dog that'll bring a bone will take a bone. And a dog that'll take a bone to bring a bone will take another bone and take it back to the other person. Okay? That's just how people are. And the more you do content creation, the more you realize that a dog that'll take a bone will be. I felt like this was Mad Day. I felt like it was just enough. It was almost like, you just right on the edge of telling a whole damn story. And then, and you be like, when we was little kids, and it'd be the whole crowd around, right? Okay. Keep up with me because I'm old. It's like when we were children growing up in the 80s, 70s, 80s, no, 80s. And if you was going to fight somebody, you put the little stick up on your thing. So you done already got to the point where you about to fight. You just want that person to do that last move to flick your mother off your shoulder. I don't know how many of y'all go back to that day, but that's the day I came from. You just waiting. If you say something else, knock my mother off my shoulder. I dare you knock my mother off my shoulder. So the very next time, in my opinion, that Tamar said something, that was you knock my mother off my shoulder. That's my opinion. Because of intolerance. Because I'm tired of the stuff. I'm tired of it. And I'm just waiting for you to say the right thing so I can go out there and spill all the tea. And I don't care what kind of domino effect this has on somebody else's relationship. So allegedly, according to Funky Dineva, she was back there. He didn't go in the house. So he explained, because I guess people were saying, why you didn't go in the house and check on your friend? And he, according to him, he was saying, I didn't go in there because she was with her man and his friend. Now, that's when I just was like, wait a minute, what? So if anything happened to her, he need to be. So it got to the point where it got foul. So I'm going to be honest with y'all. I didn't listen to that because it was going down a road that I felt like was just completely unnecessary and inappropriate. And I think that you have to gauge your audience. You have to know who's in your audience and what people have gone through in your audience, and whether or not saying something like that or implying what I thought he was implying before I got the ball for them. You got to be sensitive to know that some people probably have gone through something like that with or without their permission, right? And it was very uncomfortable to me. And I was like, let me get the fuck out of here. Let me go here on the chat GPT the rest of this, because what we not going to do is sit here and listen to, maybe this happened, maybe that happened. And because you can read a person without going off the cliff. That's my humble opinion. I'm entitled to the money. But I understand that Tamar always does, in my opinion, got a whole bunch of bullshit going on. Ray Della said, get the motherfucking likes up. Ray Della said, get the likes up, y'all. That ain't me. That's Ray Della, okay? Tamika, I'm about to bring you up, boo. Let me just wrap this up real quick in a cute little bow. So I was like, this is going somewhere that I'm uncomfortable with. Let me go on, get on and get out of here, because maybe I'm not grown enough to sit at this table. And I must admit, there's some tables I don't want to sit at. And that one I didn't. Anyway, so I asked ChatGPT, I was like, okay, so what's the connection? The connection was that um they said, because prior to ChatGPT said, prior to because of their prior social ties, when Tamar made a public post about waking up with her nose and her teeth missing, claiming she almost died, speculation mounted online about whether Funky Dineva was involved or knew more than he let on. So they weren't publicly friends in some so official a sense. Okay. So ChatGPT said, well, let me tell you what went down. And I'm going to tell you that's what ChatGPT said. What went down? In 2025, Bryson at Tamar shared that she had woken up seriously injured, fractured nose, missing teeth, claiming she had almost died. That's according to an article in Bossip, dated August 31, 2025. People noted that Funky Dineva was one of the last people seen with her the night before, which sparked wild speculation that he was involved. That comes from an article, Funky Dineva and Tamar Braxton in feud after PR stunt, August 27th, 2025. Funky publicly accused Tamar of staging the event as a PR stunt to draw attention to a new music project, basically saying her story was exaggerated or false. That comes from that same report in the baller alert. Tamar responded via social media saying that she did not fake the injury, that she's been through too much healing, and asked for peace. She denied being in on a stunt. That came from an article in the Shade Room. Tamar Braxton reacts after Funky Dineva alleges PR stunt. After the back and forth, though there were tensions in public shade, many outlets reported that Funky Dineva and Tamar Braxton had buried the hatchet. She said she still loved him no matter what, and Funky later reposted a message indicating that he accepted that apology. Same article, same day. So it says, so what is their relationship now as far as the public eye knows? They are not business partners. No, okay, we already know that. The final, whatever. Okay, so they have these public posts and stuff like that. Okay, so now I got to go back up to the top because I had to ask a couple of more questions downtown to the chat. So I was like, okay, so the point of the matter is what I deduced from the video today was that, let me drop the link for Tamika. I forgot all about it. See, I had gotten. So then I wanted to know, okay, so what's the big deal between Tamar and this Mendeecees and Yandy? Like, are they or are they not married? Do they have an open marriage? Have they talked about having an open marriage or no? I'm finding that a lot of celebrities have open marriages. Matter of fact, it might be some of your neighbors. Hell. So I was like, what's the big deal? And then I found out through ChatGPT because ChatGPT was like, Auntie, I got you. I'll tell you exactly what's going on. So I was like, okay, well, tell me. Because my people want me to talk about this and I don't really know nothing about it. But come to find out, she was in a relationship with somebody. And that the two of them in the last interview that they've done openly said, we got some difficulties in our relationship and we working out. So maybe he had a permission slip. That's why I don't get in married folks stuff or married, non-married people. I don't get in the middle of this. I learned that real early in life, probably around 18, 19, 20 years old. You don't get in people's stuff because you don't know what the agreement is. And every agreement isn't for public consumption. So to get out there and spray her teas mean that you had to spray his teas. But what if they did not have a relationship where she knew about it? People get hurt for less than that. And I wouldn't want that blood on my hand that she would come up in there and you know what I'm saying, be pop, fizz. I'm not saying she is. I'm saying a whole lot of motherfuckers are going about this world for stuff less than this. So I wouldn't want to be the one out there spilling no tea like that. Because I don't know what the agreement is, and I don't know who's a ticking time bomb. I don't know. Hey, Tamika, I see you in the back. I'm going to bring you up, okay? Let me read this real quick. So I asked ChatGPT about it. Hey there, Tamika.
Hey, Auntie. Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody. This is Tamika from Tamika's Den, downtown to the YouTube. I'm going to read this little part and then you be ready, okay?
Okay.
So I asked my bestie ChatGPT, and I was like, okay, so I said, so what's going on with Mendeecees and Yandy? Are they married? So ChatGPT was like, if you meant Mendeecees Harris, yes, he is or has been married to Yandy Smith. And he said, if Smith Harris, if you meant someone else, then you spelled it wrong. So I was like, okay, I don't know. My people just want me to talk about this right because that's how I talk to, my law. And so I was like, okay, well, let me catch you up on the T. I was like, okay. So they said in a recent interview, October of 2025, Mendeecees said that he and you giving a feedback, Tamika.
Mhm. Is it still there?
Yeah, it's like it's a feed from the back. It's stopped though. Nope, it's back. Log out and come back in. It's a feed. It's
Okay.
something feeding back. I don't know if it's the mic, the earplug, or
Okay.
something feeding back. Okay. Tamika be right back, y'all. So it said in a recent interview, October 25th, Mendeecees said that he and Yandy are are every day working to strengthen their relationship, their family, and their mental health. They're trying to block out public scrutiny and the noise. He emphasized that whatever is happening with their marriage, they want to handle it privately and move on at their own pace. Now, this was in an interview on October 30th, 2025, with the Ricky Smiley morning show. He's still doing a morning show? So the article is Mendeecees opens up about where things stand. So let me share that, right? Because I be wanting y'all to see, and then I will make sure that the links go down in the okay. Okay. Mendeecees opens up about where things stand with Yandy. So I was like, yeah, that's Yandy. I remember Yandy. Downtown, and the thing it says, here's an exact quote. Uh, He acknowledged that public scrutiny can take a toll, particularly when people on social media speculate. We have to be mentally strong just to block out the noise. We know what's at stake, and what's at stake is really raising our kids. Me and her, we've known each other for so long that I respect her. We're going to go through disagreements, but I've learned to respect her even when I don't like her. Okay, so this is a couple, in my opinion, that have agreed to disagree, and we gonna be married when we married, and when we ain't, we ain't. This grown people, grown folk business. But you know, in a land of social media, everybody think they got a right to know. It just is what it is, y'all. I swear it is. It just is what it is. Everybody feel like they got a right to know. When I was growing up, kids stayed in kids' places. You didn't get into Mr. and Mrs. Jones stuff that was going on next door, even though you heard the walls bumping. But then when you got older, you realized, you know what? Ain't gonna be no bumping walls going on while I'm living here. They said in the same interview, Mendeecees also emphasized that he refuses to handle relationships issues in public. He says, I'm not the type to talk negatively about my spouse online. I have to control my emotions. Instead, he and Yandy prefer to focus on working through their differences privately. Behind the scenes, he said, my wife and I are still trying to figure out the next chapter. But figuring out that next chapter isn't something the world needs to know. We can't let outside pressure dictate what to do. We have to move at our own pace and be comfortable with that. He also made it clear that if any major decisions were made about their relationship, their family will always be the first to know. Any decision between him and Yandy, our kids and our loved ones, will hear it before the world does. They said now through the reality star stage, their focus is less about public perception and more about peace, love, and family. We can't let the pressure of the outside work affect what's inside our home. We just got to do what works for us. I.e., we running this the way we want to. We got some stuff. Okay, drop the link again. Okay. Okay. What people do in their household, in any relationship, yeah, is their business. It's a whole lot of woulda, coulda, based on what you have been raised to believe. But trust and believe me, there are couples who are swinging. We got seeking sister wives. We got people living in polygamy. We got all kinds of relationships and dynamics. And while a lot of us may believe in the traditional marriage between a husband and a wife, people are doing what they want to do. And maybe, just maybe, She knew about Tamar. So was it really T Spillage? You'd be surprised at how people live their lives. Tamika, what's up, girl? You doing?
Hey, is it still there?
Yeah, it's still there. It's
Um,
okay. What you got to say, boo?
no, I pretty much agree with a lot of what you saying. Like, one, I don't really care for either one of them. I love Tamar music. I think she could sing her behind off. But to me it'd be like more talk of the messiness than the music. And I hear things and I just be like, oh, okay, I see certain things on the blogs, on my son be coming talking to me about it. And I don't really be caring about celebrity business like that. I'll be like, that's rich people problems. But from what I understand about it, it was kind of like, you mentioned a lot of it, like for whatever reason, when the incident happened and she not supposed to remember, allegedly, with her nose, her teeth, whatever, it was a lot of people that was blaming him and accusing him. And his whole thing was, you could have easily came out and been like, no, he had nothing to do with it. We good, whatever have you.
Oh, so she never did
And
that.
she never did that, right? So people was harassing him and asking him questions about it. And then she finally put up a statement, but then literally took the statement right back down because he was pretty much like, oh, okay, I'll take that. That's fine with me. And it was supposed to be squashed. And then it went from, you just don't mention me and I won't mention you. Please stop talking about me. And then, pretty much both of them just went about their business. Now, the streets was also saying that it had been a lot of talk about her in Mendeecees leading up to this. People kept saying they were seeing them out. And then she went and dropped a video for the Renegade album or whatever she had going on. And you even seen Funky Dineva in the video. So it was like, oh, well,
I
maybe
ain't
going
never seen him
forward.
in it, but I was
Yeah,
barely
she
looking at
cut
it.
she cut him out, but originally when she
Oh,
first
okay,
put out
okay.
the little snippet, it was
Mm.
him, Nivea, a couple people. I don't think Nivea was in the final cut anymore
Mm-hmm.
either. But
Okay.
so people say, oh, well, maybe the talk about them two being together is based around people seeing them because they was in production of this video and they was acting, cool. There's nothing there. That was a nothing burger. So, and then he kept insinuating, like, please, please don't say nothing else because the stuff that I could tell that I'm not telling right now. But if you say one more thing, I'm going to tell everything that I know. And then the next thing you know, like I didn't hear no more about it. And just like everybody else, I see a snippet of him going off. And I'm like, well, what the hell happened? Why is he going off? I thought we both was just staying in our neutral corners. And that's when everybody was saying she went on this interview and it's like, oh, well, she didn't say his name. But at the end of the day, when you laughing and you're like, oh, well, I was at the friend's party, everybody know who you talking about. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And his whole thing with the, because she kept making it seem like I threw him this party, but in all actuality, allegedly, it was just like they're in his area. They want to know what the hot spots are, and they're like, "It's your birthday anyway. You should come out with us." He recommends a spot that he thinks that they could go to, and she tells him leave the car by her house, and they're all gonna ride together to the spot. And he's like, even if you would be like, okay, it was your birthday, so I wanted to include you and separate,
Yeah.
celebrate you too. Okay, cool. But clearly, it's not a party that you threw for me because all the balloons and everything is saying your name. If it was something for me, then I would have been inviting some of my people there and they would have been saying my name. Whatever. So I
Wait a minute.
think,
It was balloons there that said Tamar?
right. But he's like, you're saying that it's for me, but your name is everywhere. Kind of understand that part, but I'm still like, I don't see, what we got to be fighting about. It to me, it's still not that serious. And then I think the bigger thing was the accusations and people thinking like either what happened or you possibly could have caused what happened, and her not speaking up. I think that was supposed to be the bigger issue, but we was just still throwing on in the whole. You didn't throw the party on me like the frosting on the cake, the icing on the cake, as they say.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then you know it went to like both of them, like I said, pretty much saying keep my name out your mouth. And then you bring it up again, be like, oh no, I don't know what happened, I don't have no recollection of this. Now honestly, we all didn't know what happened, but I think a lot of people assume like she probably fell some kind of way, hit her face, but then you're saying you just woke up and was in a pool of blood. Like somebody else had to wake you up and bring it to your attention. I don't know with that part. And then when they were saying, should we call the cops? You like, no. So people was kind of questioning that. But then you laughing like, oh, well, the person that I threw the party for. So I guess that ticked him off, must have triggered him again. I don't know. Um, I know that he recently also said he had just got diagnosed with prostate cancer. So I guess he just,
Yeah, I heard
I
that. I
don't know
heard
if
that
that
it
has
was in
anything
sort
to
of
do with
state.
anything, but I guess that just ticked him off and he went on his rant and he was like, I'm going to let it all out. I'm not saying that that's right for him to do either. To me, they both messy. I just feel like she met her match. She met somebody that gets down just like her, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then he says that it was three different times that he was hanging out with her that Mendeecees would just pop up. So I don't know if he's supposed to be like the third wheel to make it seem like, oh, well, we're all just here and we're chilling together. I don't know really where Mendeecees came into the picture, but him saying like, oh, for all of y'all that kept being like, if you was a real friend, you would have went upstairs with her, you would have made sure she was okay. I didn't need to do that because her friend was there. He went upstairs with her and they was kissing the car allegedly, and I went on to my car that I had parked there and I left them, and that's all I know. I don't know whatever else happened when they went upstairs, but of course he said a whole bunch of other stuff besides that. He just was going off. So
Okay, well, I mean, that definitely helped me because I, to me, Tamika, I put a thing out there and was like, look, if y'all want me to talk about any topics, hit me up on Instagram and we'll talk. They blew me the up. And I mean,
yeah, because I don't really be knowing about it either. There's a few people that I like on YouTube that talk about hot topics, and sometimes I'll listen to some of them, even the stuff that I don't know about and shows that I don't watch, and I'll be like, oh, okay, and I just heard somebody else kind of breaking it down, and I was like, okay, now I think I have a little bit of a better understanding of it, but you got the right to defend yourself if you're being accused of something. That part, is
so
fine.
is it so what is Tamar's point in having these interviews and saying, or I gave my friend a party?
Right. I
What
don't know
what is
what's the
her
point
point
of
in
that.
that? Is it
Like
is it
maybe in her head she did throw him a party. Maybe that's how she throws parties. I
not
have
if the
no clue.
balloons had her name on it? See, I
I
didn't
really
know
don't
it's
know.
anything like that, right? I had no idea what
And
was
then
going.
when you actually see the clip of them out, right, his body language is really given like, I don't want to be here. I'm ready to go home. That's how he looks. It's her
Okay,
that's dancing
okay,
around, and
okay.
I don't know.
Mhm.
I
And
really
that's
don't
why
know.
I was saying though, it seems like when I looked at the beginning part, there's a lot of intolerance. And you know how, Tamar flip out, she go on social media, she do this, she do that. And I
Mhm.
think his tolerance level for her bull is like was up to here,
Yeah,
right? Some of the stuff that he said I thought crossed the line
yeah.
about, if they was up there, then like
Right.
I
And
came
that's
out
my thing. Over the years, that's
I left.
why, that's not somebody I particularly follow because over the years, I feel like he said a lot of things that's been out of pocket and out of line that I'm just like, okay, nah, I'm not here for all of that. So,
Yeah, I thought that was too much for even a
but
woman of my age.
yeah,
It like I don't want to hear that. And and the older you get, the more women who have been affected by different things.
yes.
And so it's a trigger, not for you, right?
Hmm.
But it's a word for me. Certain things for me make me feel guarded. Like I want to guard and
Yeah,
protect a woman.
yeah.
That's just where I am, right?
Hmm.
And I'm entitled to this. Okay,
Right.
I'm not taking anybody's sides, but I absolutely saw a bunch of intolerance in him. And I'm noticing in the comment section that people are saying, well, he warned her that you leave him
Yeah.
alone. Right. Okay. But
Mhm.
when you fighting, you just fight. We out here in the street.
Right. People don't care about that. The gloves come off. Listen, God bless
Yeah.
the dead, but my sister was one. Once she get there, she get there. There ain't no stopping her mouth. Anything is liable to come out. I
And
mean,
yeah, I don't understand it. So now they are reporting, okay, hold on. Tamar Braxton lawyers up after Funky Dineva accused her of hooking up with
Hmm.
Mendeecees. Why?
I guess
Why?
she's trying to say it's defamation, but we don't know if he have any pictures or any proof. Nobody knows. Only them two know. And if other people have it, because like I said, the thing about it was he's not the first one to bring it up. It was a lot of other people that was saying, what's Mendeecees and Tamar doing together? Like it had
Okay,
been maybe
okay.
a week or two that was starting to flood up. And then when the whole video thing came out, it was kind of like, oh, well, maybe that's why they was being together. And people kind of got quiet about it again. So I guess for him, he's like, since the people was talking and asking anyway, I'm gonna confirm it for y'all. Yes, they are out here in these streets, whatever, allegedly.
But they grown.
They are. They can do whatever they want to do. And the
They
thing about it is,
grown.
I haven't watched Love and Hip Hop since God knows when, but
Yeah, me
I've
either, girl. I
always
just got
heard
some
about ups and
months.
downs between him and Yandy. And to be honest with you, I never even knew that they finally got legally married because for the longest time, people were saying they never like legalized it. They just was going and having different ceremonies. And I was like, well, what the heck is the point of that? But is your relationship, do what you want to do with it. If it worked for y'all, it worked for y'all.
Yeah, whatever work for you, whatever work in your marriage, that's your marriage, right? The Bible
Hmm.
said that it's not defiled, right? They can do what
Yeah.
they want to do within the confines of
Yeah.
their bedroom, and ain't nobody got a goddamn thing to do with it. But I thought
Hmm.
that I saw in here, wait a minute, let me find it, because they said that it was a rumor that she was cheating.
Yeah, I heard that before. I heard that she had allegedly stepped out for a minute, and I was hearing they had an open marriage, which a lot of these celebrities and even everyday people be doing that. So again, like if that's what y'all dynamic is, some people will work for, some people it don't.
Yeah, they
That's
said,
how.
they said in the article there is also the bigger question on whether cheating to them means the same thing.
Right.
Yandy admitted an emotional affair. Many of the allegations against him are more
Hmm.
serious. DMs, time spent with other women, claims of third parties. This disparity fuels a lot of public perception. For many fans, it's hard to root for the relationship continuing because she was in it, on the show, and in a media write up, it says.
Hmm.
Some feel Yandy was repeatedly taking the hit for Mendeecees' behaviors, staying loyal, handling stress, trying to keep the family together while he's become more distant and checked out. Just get
Yeah,
a
I seen people talking about that, but it's like if they ain't complaining about it, why are you? Because they were saying she held him down when he was locked up, and now he came out and it looked like he's showing his behind. Maybe he is, maybe he not.
maybe that
We
happened
don't
every
know.
day though. It happens
Yeah,
every day.
exactly. Hmm.
I just don't know. I just felt like I felt like right. I just gave a poll. So let's look at the poll,
Hmm.
shall we? Can you see the poll?
Let me
Um,
see.
Let me go behind. So the question that I asked 10 minutes ago, always get to 50. I said, was Funky justified in being angry? 85% of the audience says yes, while 15% say no. They feel like he was justified in being angry. And I understand that's what it is. That's what
Mhm.
everybody think. That's what they think. Um, He may have been justified in being okay. So here's where I stand with this, and it may not be popular, but I'm gonna say
Mhm.
what I got to say because I'm old enough to to be able to say what I want to say. He may have been justified, but some
Mhm.
stuff went over the line for me.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like some
Got
stuff
you
went
first.
over the line. Like it's not, they say it's not what you do, is how you do it. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. My grandmother always say one finger pointing forward, three pointing back. So I mean, we all got our stuff, obviously. I do agree with him though when he says that she usually does this thing like you throw the rock and you hide your hand. Oh, it wasn't
Yes,
me.
yes, 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 yes.
I definitely agree
That's
with that.
all of them.
Yeah, I feel like she's gotten to it with a lot of people in the industry and out. And sometimes it ain't everybody else either. You got to look at the man in the mirror. But I do feel like it was a different way for him to handle it. Maybe if he wouldn't have just jumped immediately and reacted when he saw the interview and actually took some time, maybe he would have handled it another way. Everything ain't sometimes worth you coming out and saying something about it either. Sometimes you just be quiet and just let things happen as they may.
I
No.
do. I do a lot of
Yeah.
times. A lot of times I'll say, see, my whole thing is this, and I say it all the time. I'm not a dog. So when you
Yeah.
call for me, I'm not coming. I'm not sitting.
Yes.
I'm not staying. I have to maintain my own self control. I
Hmm.
fight when I feel like I want to fight. I don't feel like I want to
Yeah.
fight. Say whatever you want to say, do whatever
Yeah.
you want to do. I pick my battles.
Yes, absolutely. You have to pick your battles. And something you said earlier, I say all the time. I'll be telling my mother that a dog that carry a bone, bring a bone. Don't think they just coming to you and they ain't coming to nobody else. Because I'm sure everybody, as soon as they seen that, flooded his DMs, flooded his phone. Oh, look what she's saying. Because people like to see the drama. They love it.
They love
They
it.
want to see y'all
They love
arguing and
it.
fighting. Yes.
And I think that they, did that in every fight. There is not a winner and a loser. I think that
Mhm.
sometimes, right? You just you both of you are just here.
Yeah.
We don't know what has happened in the relationship or what's going on downtown in the street. I
Hmm.
think a lot of people are loyal to both of them, right? She got
Yeah. Oh,
her
yeah.
fans, he got
Hmm.
his fans. It is what it is. But when
Yeah.
I looked at it, I was like, he doesn't have the tolerance for her. And
Right.
when you get to the point where you don't respect somebody and your tolerance is down, right? You when you are angry with somebody, your whole communication changes with them. You got
Yeah.
dry and short answers. You cut the conversation quickly.
Hmm.
You ignore messages. You take longer to, or if um
Right.
you got micro irritations, that person's voice tick you off. No,
Yeah.
seriously, right?
Yeah,
Those
they do. You're right.
irritations, their
Hmm.
habits, of their stupid jokes, even their breathing. If especially if it's a spouse or something, child, if they even breathe
Hmm.
hard, you're mad. Then you have
Exactly.
start developing negative assumptions, and those negative assumptions transfer to anybody who is around, right? Because they interpret everything that that person does in the worst possible way. That
Hmm.
that he or she is being shady. That they meant everything they see as an insult, that they always trying to start something or stay on social media, that they're always doing whatever they do on purpose. And that
Yeah.
that creates a hostile environment between
Hmm.
not only those two people, but anybody else that's attached to it. So if you love Auntie Advice and Tamika's Den is arguing with is arguing with Auntie Advice, people tend to pick a side.
Yeah,
Why?
they do, man. I see the fans going crazy. I mean, whew, it get real nasty, baby.
They
Okay,
get that.
it get I'll be like, child, y'all don't really know these people. You know that, right? Like, you about to fight over people you don't know. Calm down. Like, it's never that serious for me. I love, it's music people I love, it's movie people I love, but I ain't about to be out here arguing and fighting for
Yeah,
no money.
I ain't woo banging in the street. Now I
But
used
they
to.
definitely be having people be going hard for them. They really do.
Yeah, that stuff is transferable, right? And
Yeah.
and and the thing about it is, it's not going to end the way that everybody think. It's going to continue to be more disagreements,
Hmm.
stupid, petty things. But let's see what Tamar and her. Let me go to that real quick. So Tamar, oh my God, let me see if I can find it. I think that this, putting a gag on them, she don't want no gag on her. Now, I think she wrong in that. I think that she's going overboard with trying to file a daggone suit. So, according to the Jasmine brand, Tamar Braxton lawyers up after Funky Dineva. Let me put it on the screen so I can make sure that I link it, right? Because I always like to link and give credit to. So, hold on, let me share my screen. So, the Jasmine brand, can you see it, Tamika?
Uh-huh.
Update: Tamar Braxton lawyers up after Funky Dineva accused her of hooking up with this guy. Tamar and her legal team are shutting down a viral accusation made by Funky Dineva, calling it nothing more than a completely untrue rumor. The commentator recently alleged Tamar was involved in an inappropriate relationship with this guy and claim her camp says is entirely claim her camp says is entirely fabricated. In a firm statement shared with fans, Tamar's attorney stressed that the story has no basis in truth and was being addressed immediately. Um Tamar says, I'm getting my lawyers I'm letting my lawyers take it from here, making it clear she plans to let legal action speak louder than online speculation. Dineva broke the internet Monday night when he claimed that Tamar and them was making out in the car. Y'all believe Dineva on this one. I say I don't give a
I really don't care, to be
grown
honest
people,
with
grown
you.
people. Grown people are grown people.
Hmm.
And it can be proven or not proven that they was together. Because the
Right,
two can get together and say, no, we won't never together. He lying. Does it
right.
really make him a liar, or does it mean that they conspired to cover it up together? You
Hmm.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hmm.
Because it's his word against three other people. Because he said it was Mendeecees, Tamar,
Hmm.
and a friend.
And another friend,
Then
yeah.
it was a fucking Uber. Because he said they was
Right.
in an Uber. Like,
Yeah. Hmm.
but ain't a suburban. Oh my God. What you think on this, Tamika? What you think on this, boo?
I just I wish that he go ahead and do what he doing, as far as he got a lot of followers in his blog, and I hope that his health be okay. And I want her to go ahead and continue to make music and sing her songs, and what if a wonderful world it could be. I know that's not what's gonna happen, but you also do have to watch what you say. And we've seen lawsuits and we've seen people winning lawsuits, but when it's all said and done, I just feel like it's kind of like a tit for tat. Like, I guess he feels like, hey, you have people thinking certain things about me. Now I'm gonna have them thinking certain things about you, and you're gonna have the ones that's gonna ride for him, like we were saying earlier. You're gonna have the ones that ride for her. Only all of them that was there, and God really know the truth. None of us don't know nothing.
And frankly, I don't give a damn. Now, somebody just put in here, and look, Ray Della said, LJ. She said, LJ's damn auntie on Instagram. But LJ says she gonna go ahead and put it in the chat. She says, can we talk about Beyonce and Brandy? What the hell that happened with Beyonce and Brandy?
I don't know. I've seen a little clip of Ray J, which to me, Ray J right now should be getting therapy. But I'm assuming maybe this is what we talking about. He is saying that Beyonce should have been stopping by to see Brandy. I'm paraphrasing, because she's been to a couple of the concerts. I know she was at the last one, and there was pictures with her and Monica. There was pictures, of course, with her and Kelly, because that's her girl. Like, she was there to support, but
Okay.
didn't go and see Brandy. So I don't know. Tell me if I'm right, Ellen. If that
But
has
why
something to
is
do
he
with
sitting up? But why is that any of his goddamn gonna be? He need to be dealing with his baby mama and keeping his pew pew in a case
Yeah,
locked up.
I need him to be getting help right now. Honestly, after
He,
that last
he
thing
need
I
to
saw
sit
with him,
down.
yeah.
Why he even has relevance with people, I will never understand. But it just really lets you think. It really lets you see that social media, there are all kinds of people who like all kinds of people.
Oh
Because
yeah,
Ray J, I ain't gonna be able to do it. I would
yeah,
have to be on drugs to mess with Ray J. So okay, well I'll find out what's going
yeah.
on with that.
Get the scoop on that one.
Yeah, because they need to leave Beyonce alone. Leave Beyonce alone. Okay, she over there minding her business and trying to take care of Remy. Okay,
Yeah,
because I think she was sitting up there the other day talking about she won't get in the car or something. And if Beyonce had a hand out like that, like girl,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But ain't nobody asked me to talk about that. But I thank you for coming up with your
Thank you
opinion.
for having me. I
My
appreciate it because
people.
I was like, I don't really mess with these people, but
But yeah, let's talk about it with somebody else that don't really mess with these people. Okay, because I didn't even know what was going on downtown. Downtown to the Braxtons, till my people told me about the Braxtons.
but I love the music. Got all the albums. I'll be in here singing down. Okay,
I
but
don't.
yeah, I
I
couldn't.
don't.
I could not. That's not somebody that would be my friend in real life. Okay, certain things I just can't deal with. So
Tamar's
yeah.
always, in my opinion, if I had anything to say about her, she's extremely talented, but she's not manageable.
Mhm.
And when I was doing music and teaching music and all of that kind of stuff, I was always say you got to have somebody who's teachable and trainable. And Tamar's not. Her own husband couldn't manage her, and she's just out of control. She's not manageable. And I think before we see a change in Tamar, this is my opinion, she's going to have to hit rock bottom. And I
Yeah,
don't.
sometimes you do. It's some aspects of her. Oh Lord, back when I used to watch the Braxton, because I stopped a long time ago, I just couldn't do it anymore. That reminded me of my little sister in the sense that you could tell she's the baby. Like with my sister, it was that she was the baby, but then it also was that she was born with sickle cell. She used to be in crisis a lot, and so my mother and father really babied her a whole lot of responsibilities I had. She never had because of it. But later, when she was older, they regretted that. They was like, "Oh, we went the wrong route. We did the wrong thing." But it's too late because now she already here, and she had to kind of get out there on her own, have her own experiences, and then she was like, "Oh, you was right. Now I see what you're talking about." And she
Mhm.
started to change as she did start to work in different things, progress, like you said. So I don't know what that is for Tamar, but I would love to see it. I really would. I feel like that's a big part of it as well. Like she got away with a lot of stuff because she was the baby, but everybody in the world is not going to treat you that way. Certain things you may get away with your family and close friends. The other people in the streets ain't about to do it with you. That's just
Ain't
not
got
how
it
this
to
works.
do. Ain't it
Yeah.
just simply ain't got it to do. She gonna mess
Hmm.
around and find out though. I don't. I think she think it's cute to be loud. From what I've seen, she think it's cute. I read her down, and the thing about it is you fighting with your own sisters,
Hmm. Yeah,
right?
that broke my heart. That's when I really couldn't do it no more. And around the time that they did the one last season, and they were saying Tracy wanted us to do this, and we're doing it for Tracy and all of that. I had just lost my sister, so I was like, absolutely not. I cannot
Yeah,
watch this. I ain't got it in me to do that at all.
yeah.
And unfortunately, I felt like, and it seems like they came together before her passing. That's beautiful. I'm glad that they at least did that, but to me, when she was living, you wasn't treating her in the right way. And then you say you're coming to do this for her, but then we go from bad to worse. So what did we really learn from all of this?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how this come out, whether or not she really got a lawyer. I think that's just, I don't know whether or not how serious she is about it, or whether or not, you can sue for defamation. You got to really have, I mean,
You
defamation
gotta have
is
the
very
yeah.
hard
Hmm.
to prove, right? I think Megan Thee Stallion just won a defamation case
Yeah.
against the content
She
creator.
just won, and then of course everybody know about Cardi winning towards Tasha K. So I guess that's what's making her feel like, okay, everybody suing everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and sue you too, but you do have to be able to prove it.
Yeah, and it's hard to prove unless you really would have to defame somebody in order to get right. So, like, you done got a warning, they done told you,
Mhm.
look, chill out, young, and you just was like, and I'm gonna say what I want to say. I'm gonna
Right.
put my information. That's when you get into, okay,
Yes.
now it's time, to put a lawyer on speed dial. But that stuff get expensive. People gonna
Oh
learn.
yeah.
They gonna
Absolutely.
learn, right?
Absolutely.
So when I come back up and talk about it again, if anything come out of it, as always, honey, I will drop that link for you.
Okay. Thank you, Auntie. Love you.
Love
Bye,
you too,
cousin.
boo.
All right.
Babu. So y'all, I'm hoping that I did y'all good. Not really knowing what was going on, but I just think that there is, when people are doing shenanigans and stuff like that, you just be like, enough is enough. Do I agree with everything that is being said from either party? No. Um, I don't dispute it, but I don't agree with everything. I think that both of them have a little bit of truth. And that's usually how life is. Two truths and a lie. Okay. But I'm hoping that they resolve this situation because it really is petty. And Tamika did bring some insight. I had no idea that, she didn't stand out there and defend the dude, right? If you know somebody was not involved in the situation or didn't know what happened to you and they were getting um, um, a lot of pressure from comments and social media and stuff, it don't take nothing but one Instagram post to clear that up on behalf of your friends. And maybe they just did not have a friendship, a real friendship, as far as what maybe Funky Dineva thought that they had. And this was a wake-up call for him to see, if she can't stand for me, in my time of trouble and cover me, then she just really ain't a friend. Now I can get with that, because a friend in need is a friend indeed, and that is the truth. Now that right there, that's the truth. If you can't be with me when I'm going down, if you can't drop a hand down and pull me back up by just putting out a tweet, is it still a tweet? Instagram post, a TikTok post to say Funky wasn't there, then I ain't got it to do with you. I ain't got it to do. But again, there's two sides to every story, two lies and a truth. Okay. What you saying, boo? You have to have receipts and you have to show you a character above reproach to the two things that she don't have neither of. Okay. Um, I believe Funky has too much dirt on her. It would shock the conscious if he ever had to give a deposition about his relationship with her, and you can take that to the bank. I think that he has, from what I have observed, he has dirt on a whole lot of them. Hmm. Probably got dirt on a whole lot of them. But it don't mean that you can't, that you got to be forever beholden to somebody because they got dirt on you either. So y'all know I'm always gonna see both sides. Just because you got dirt on me, I ain't gonna walk around in fear of what you gonna spill. Spill the tea. If I was Tamar, I would spill my own tea. I would have a whole daggone podcast and sit out there and spill my own tea. The thing about it is, when people have a low tolerance for you, even if you spill the tea and be honest, because of your reputation that has preceded you in many cases with many people ain't gonna believe you no way. They ain't gonna believe you no how. Anyway, I hope I did y'all justice. Y'all wanted me to talk about it, so I talked about it. I must say that I absolutely have admired and respect Funky Dineva. Again, I don't walk in his circles, right? I don't cover the shows that he covers, not anymore, because y'all know when I was doing Atlanta, Real Housewives of Atlanta, and Married to Medicine and stuff, I was cussing out here so bad that YouTube was like, we're gonna shut all your shit down if you don't sit your down. So I had to, move to a different genre. But I thank you all so much for hitting me up in my DMs and saying, hey, Auntie, we want you to discuss this. And again, continue to do so. Continue to let me know what you want me to cover, and I'll try my hand at it, even if I may get some of the things misconstrued. I will absolutely try my best to assess it and give my honest opinion about it. Thank y'all so much for being here, y'all. I love y'all, and until we meet again, y'all be safe out there in those streets, okay? Love y'all. Bye.